Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Orville, Season 1, Episode 9, Cupid's Dagger. I liked it. I thought it was an interesting episode. I kind of have a love-hate relationship because it retcons a little bit the relationship between Ed and Kelly. Now, that's part of the reason I really like this show, is the show starts with a couple and one of them's cheating and getting a divorce and all sorts of stuff. So it starts on a low point and can kind of only go up from there. And this kind of rewrites it just a little bit. But still, it does it in such a way that I'm kind of curious, when they first started the pilot, did they already know they were going to do this episode to kind of explain the infidelity? Or did they just were like, you know what? Nobody likes Kelly because she's the one who cheated, so we need to fix that somehow. So I'm really kind of curious to see where this episode came from. The whole opening scene of them doing karaoke is great. I've never personally done karaoke or scarioke. Like, I don't know. I don't think I have much of a singing voice. So maybe one day I'll get really drunk and even post a video. Who knows? The kind of funny scene is Bortus goes to do karaoke and he starts to do My Heart Will Go On from Titanic. And Victor Gerber, who plays the Admiral in this episode, who was also in the pilot episode, played Mr. Andrews in Titanic. So that was kind of a nice little, like, coincidence. Not really. So I really liked that. The whole episode is just about these warring cultures who are both claiming a planet, and so they need to send out for an archaeologist. Well, the archaeologist is Derulio, the Reptician that was from the pilot. Now, in this one, he's played by Rob Lowe, who's a great actor. He's been around forever. And I don't know if it was Rob Lowe in the pilot. I don't remember actually paying that close of attention. So I kind of want to just go back and rewatch it real quick just to see if it actually is him or not. Because if it is, then they had to have known that they were going to do this episode. The whole, like, subplot of Yaphet and Claire, like, hooking up and him just, like, engulfing her is just deeply disturbing, but really funny at the exact same time. Kelly and Derulio hooking up again, and then Ed and Derulio going for a drink. So, I don't know. I've always said, like, Seth MacFarlane is, like, the man's man. Like, if he came out as gay, honestly, I don't think anybody would be surprised, to be realistic. And he breaks those culture norms because, I mean, he likes classical music and he likes musicals and he likes all sorts of stuff that is usually considered effeminate. And, I mean, I completely disagree with that. But I like the fact that he breaks those social norms and he is completely okay with being himself. And he is kind of an ally to the LGBT community. And so he kind of, like, accepts everybody. Like, he seems like a genuinely nice guy. Like, I don't know. It could be all a sham. He could be, like, the most evil person on the planet. But he seems like he's a genuinely nice guy. And so to actually see him kind of play that type of a character was really kind of interesting. And just watching him awkwardly hit on Derulio, and even Gordon's line, like, do you want to bang Derulio? Like, do I want to bang? Do I want to get banged? Like, you're the one who's, like, making this stuff up. And it was some really great dialogue. The three of them going for a drink, super awkward, but it worked. Now, this all comes to a point where we find out that once a year, Derulio releases this compound, and he's basically in heat, and makes everybody fall in love with him. And when he first gets here, he actually trips over Yaphet, which, again, great foreshadow, and that's why Claire is suddenly attracted to Yaphet. And that's why Kelly's attracted to him. That's why Ed's attracted to him. And then, like, at one point where they're naked in bed together, which is super awkward, but great camera placement. And we see these two planets about to go to war together. And he's like, shouldn't you be on the bridge? And he's like, no, I'd rather be here with you. And it's like, that's his moment of awakening. Like, you know what? Maybe this is too much, like, endorphins going on. And so he makes the other delegates fall in love. And, like, who even cares about the subplot of, like, these two races claiming a planet? I mean, honestly, by the time you get to the end, I didn't even care. Where they're like, oh no, like, the DNA, it's actually a hybrid of both of them. So they stem from that. Who cares? Like, it's so great to watch, like, Derulio and Ed and Kelly in this, like, little awkward triangle. It's such a great story. Like, I just absolutely love this show. I think this is such a great show. And then, of course, the line at the end, like, were you in heat the first time when Kelly first met Derulio? And he's like, who knows? And I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, maybe this was outside of Kelly's control. Maybe if Ed had met Derulio first, like a year ago, Ed would have slept with Derulio and Kelly could have caught them, and it would have been a completely different story. So you instantly start to kind of question whether or not Kelly meant to be unfaithful or not. So it's such a good show, asking so many questions and stuff. So I'm curious what you guys think of it. Like, what did you think about kind of the retcon? Like, it not necessarily being Kelly's choice? Or do you think they should have just left it and, like, Kelly made a really bad decision? So go ahead, let me know. Thank you guys for everything. And I'll see you next time for Firestorm.